Hiya, Tommy.
Aye.
What's the mood in the camp at the moment following the 2-2 draw on Sunday?
I think it's very positive. The type of team that we are, we look at the results after every game. We review the footage, and we're quite honest as a group. Individually, we need to improve after every game, and we get that. But there's got to be sort of an element of understanding that, where we're at as well. And I think, we've come this far now, and we've had sort of adversities with injuries and that, and the group's changed a lot over the last few games. So to come into a game on Friday now with a few days to spare now, get the rest into the legs, and we're all upbeat, we're all positive, and more importantly, we're all excited because the run of results that we've had. We know we could have sort of done better in certain games, and that happens, but we're always optimistic we can go out there in every game and get 3 points.
I think a lot of the fans, to be fair, were a bit frustrated with the display on Sunday. Is that a frustration shared by the players as well? Or?
It is. I think it's a bit different in terms of the way we sort of need to show our frustration. We show it in our approach, in our honesty, because it gives us something to build off. We sort of set up for the usual week by a lot of planning, a lot of prepping the staff, the team, and there's a lot of work that goes into it to sort of get the right result. So it's hard when we don't get the right result because we know how much plan and preparation has gone into it. So for us, it's how can we correct the little things to sort of make the big impact, and that's something that we focus on even more after a sort of bad result or a bad performance mainly, because the results obviously take care of themselves, but performances, you need to sort of do your best on that. But the run of the games that we've had is also sort of impacted by sort of level of intensity as well. And I spoke before about that Charlton game. It was incredible, sort of the energy that it had at the end of the game, and it does take through to the next game. So the main thing for us now is we've had a few days to look at the next game, and it's Barnsley for us now. So our focus and our intention is on setting up for a plan to go out there and get 3 points.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about the Charlton game. Was there any extra relish there for you? Because obviously that was the last team you played when you were at Doncaster, I think, in the playoffs, was it? And do you take anything extra because you beat Charlton, or not really, just another game?
Completely forgot about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I say that because it's something for me this season I've had to focus on, is my sort of attention to detail about who I'm playing next, and that doesn't go about how many times I've beat them in my career or anything. It means, what do I have to do this week to play my best? And it often doesn't actually have to do with the last sort of season or anything. It's the current game and what we need to do. And I spoke previously about how we take care of ourselves, and very little goes into that, what we worry about. It's more about what we can produce on the day. So for me, it was more about putting myself in a position where I can go and help the team most, and I'm delighted that we ended up the result went the way it did at the end, and it was a great game.
Back to Wigan, Pedro Pereira, the full-back on the other side, or wing-back, scores his first goal for Bristol City. Do you know offhand if it was his first goal in professional football? Because I've got a feeling it might have been.
Well, he's 21, so it could
Well,
possibly be his first goal. I know he's
first ever goal, yeah. What was it like? What was he like after the game? Because I could imagine he would be very buoyant. Obviously, good display from him personally. First goal in professional football, and an important goal as well, because it gets obviously a point for City.
Yeah, I mean, it was a tough one really, because we were all disappointed because our intentions were to go and win the game at home, to put on a good performance for the fans, because that's what we're there at home for, to if you like to make it a fortress, but to go out there and put good performances on, because we know we're not going to win every game, but if our performance level's right, then brilliant. Pedro had a great game on the day, and he's got himself a goal and shown that there's the importance of this season is having sort of two players for one position. I spoke about it earlier, and I think it's so important for us that we do it now because of sort of the injuries that we've had, if you like. And he's come in, and he's had to do well because of the form of Jack, and hopefully that's going to give him all the confidence for Friday.
Was it always the plan for you, Tommy, to play left wing back when you came to the club? Or obviously you're a versatile player, as I understand it. You played in different positions. When you came in, did they specifically say you might play a left back here, or is it a case of you might play a couple of positions, but we'll look to see how it progresses?
I think the chats that we had was more about making me aware of like positions that he saw me sort of doing well for the team, and you know they obviously work well with me, so I can adapt to different situations. But it was about putting the work in sort of positions that I wasn't familiar in. I've played most positions down the left side for all clubs, so it was more about understanding the intensity of the championship now. You know, this season it's gone up another level in my opinion. So the work that we do in the training ground with the coaching staff is so important, and you know it takes a lot of focus, and that's something that I've had to sort of nail on. And it doesn't really matter what position, it's the sort of level of concentration that we go through, and yeah, that's been the main thing that I'd say that I've noticed coming into the club, was giving my all in training to understand what they want, what the roles and the objectives were, and then going out there and executing them.
Has Jamie McAllister spoken to you much? Because obviously he's a former left back here, and obviously he would have been patrolling that flank like yourself a few years ago. Have you worked much with him on that left wing back position, or is it not something that's come up?
No, it has. It's come up regularly. If it's not a team practice where we're together, it's an individual where Maka will take me 1v1, or even with other fullbacks, me and Pedro, Jack. We'll do sessions. We did a lot pre-season where we were in groups, defensive groups. So, you know, the work's been put in. I think the important thing is continuing with it. You know, I've just said through the run of games, it's hard to get training sessions in through recovery in games, but we're finding ourselves now where we've got to still see that as a room for improvement, and we'd still do that. If it's not going out there on the grass, we're talking about ways of improving. Meetings, specialist meetings on, you know, sort of ways we can help benefit our game, and Mac has been integral in all of that, as has Dino and the gaffer, just pumping me with information where I can go out there and do the best job.
Yeah, I was going to say, how are you finding your time just generally at Bristol City, on and off the pitch?
Absolutely loving it. You know, when you come to a new club, you expect to love everything about it, but it doesn't always work that way. You know, I've been to a few clubs now, but so far, like, everything about it, from, you know, the media team to the fans to the people that live around where I'm from now at the minute, have been great, and the team have been amazing with me. So I think, you know, you don't rest on your laurels. I've never have. I want to keep working hard, work harder, and you know, see where we can go with it.
Yeah, I don't think I've spoken to you since you joined the club, but did you know many of the lads before you came in?
Personally, didn't know anybody. It was more about knowing players through playing against them, sort of familiar faces, if you like. But you know, I've spoke quite highly, and you know, the culture of the club, the sort of change of culture that when I came, that the new approach the management team had taken on it, and it helps any new player adapt, and certainly found that far easier than other times.
Just last couple of things. I think you had probably a very good reference in terms of Gary Johnson, because you played for him, I believe, when you had Peterborough. I think you've spoken on this already, but yeah, is that something that maybe helped you come down this way, and obviously working with Gary in the past, and is there a lot of difference between Lee and Gary? Yeah,
it's definitely something that influenced it. I spoke, he came to the training ground not long ago actually, and we had a good chat, and it was quite funny really, because my time at Peterborough under Gary was, we were sort of being in the championship when I was really young, and I was still learning the way, and he was a great person for me at the time to sort of help me on sort of the way I wanted to play, and you know, I was very much the sort of player that would play any position then. So I think that was the reason why, is because of like the attitude that I showed towards, you know, adapting to a new manager, new position, new shapes. I think it was an easy one for him to say, you know, he can adapt. People change and people grow to different players, but I think it's part of my game that, you know, I have Gary to thank, you know, for the way I have to adapt to certain positions and roles, if you like. And I always think it's a good thing for a player to learn different roles and responsibilities in the team. If you like 2 players for each position, but why not a player who can play 3 or 4 positions, and you're covered there if there is injuries.
Yeah, sure. I think he's doing all right down at Torquay as well at the moment. Just finally, I don't know if you're aware of this, but I think you lead the division, certainly on some sites, in terms of interceptions per game. Does that mean anything to you at all? Are you aware of anything like that? But I guess you get these...
That must be not a right position a lot. I'm getting away with it.
or maybe just in the right position a lot to cut out...
Yeah, if you like. I think so. I think anything sort of like that will go over my head straight away. But you can only put down to the team, because we're in a sort of... The work we do is not, okay, you're going to get this amount of interceptions today, Tom, so make sure you're in that position. It's more on like we move as a unit, and it's down to the group talking. And I think that's a strong point about this team, is the way we sort of lead on the pitch. I think you obviously see from afar, it's quite loud on a match day, but you see a lot of hands being pointed and things getting said in the sort of intensity of a game, which is what we're good at, and that definitely helps, get into positions to stop things. But yeah, and again, it goes down to the staff, the way they set us up as well. So you can see that if that's the case, then it's from a lot of learning and a lot of encouragement from the staff and the players.
Just a couple from me, Tommy. Quite a week, probably best described as the late show, because 2 late goals. Is that becoming a bit of a character trait for the squad? Is that going to be a good thing, that you don't know when you're beaten, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like it. I'm not going to lie, it's a good trait to have. As long as we can detail at the beginning of how we approach the middle and the beginning of games, and can we up that intensity, if you like, or whatever it may be. But there's definitely something tangible about good teams who go and who know that they're not beaten in any game. And we have spoken about the importance of that, and I think it just shows the sort of strength of mindset of the team and where we're at. We may be depleted in numbers of players that are out injured and sort of games out play, and we get that, but we're going to fight to the end. And hopefully, if there's something that you're going to take out of certain games, you look at that as a real strong point, and you go, well, that's something to build on. And it's sort of a fear factor, if you like, for teams, because we know that we can come back from games from any result.
Just talking on that injury as well, Jay De Silva is a player. You're sort of currently playing his role at the moment at left back. Is that, I know we've spoken about it briefly there, but are you enjoying that role, or would you rather be in the centre of midfield?
I'm definitely enjoying that. I'm playing games that it's been an amazing start. Jay's a great player. He's somebody who I get a lot of advice from. Jay. He's younger than me, but he's the way he plays is so unique that you can't not ask advice of somebody like that, because the way he plays his game, and he's believe it or not, he's been so important off the pitch as on it, because he's young, but he's played at a high level, and you need to ask questions and get good answers, and he's given me a lot of good feedback on ways to improve that position, because obviously he cares and he wants us to do well, and no doubt when he's back, he'll be fighting strong and showing the league what he can do.
There's quite a few young players in this squad. Are you enjoying being part of that, and are you sort of seen as somebody with all your experience is quite an important role? You're sort of the eyes and ears for Lee Johnson on the pitch, I guess, as well.
Yeah, I think I'm one of them, but no, yeah, it's brilliant. I mean, you've got such a lot of young lads with old heads on the shoulders, if you like, because of you have to be like that now. You have to sort of really tune in, and you can't sort of be lackadaisical with anything in this game. It's about growing up fast and understanding the game. And yeah, you have a laugh. We all have a laugh, but you've got to be concentrating to go there and be your best. And players like Antoine, who's come in, and he's so strong in his attributes, and he's got so much to give, and he's such a lovely character. We just want to see him do well, and he's done amazing so far. And a lot of players at that sort of that age have come in. We just talked about Pedro. He's only 21. It's amazing to find out that, because they play like they're a lot older, and it's good to see, because they get that confidence from the team and from the manager and from the fans.
Thanks, Tommy.
All right.